I don't think you open it with the 1-2.
Okay, like the bounty's pretty bad against Earthspear, right? Like in the early game, Earthspear can steal his runes and just catch him with the dust, right? Like you don't want to see it if you see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. What about middle? I mean, we got the draft now, but FN versus CCNC, FN has still played like fantastically.
Yes.
Every single game. CCNC, he's looked good that Death Prophet game, but do you think he just needs to step up and match FN's just amazing play? Or is it just a team effort in general?
I think it's more of a team effort.
Team effort, all right.
OpTic, they're not going to get their Ogre this time. Empire's going back to banning that. I think we will see OpTic ban the Air Spirit, though, after Vansquad's performance.
It's one of those heroes, yeah. I mean, it's an initiator, counter-initiator, a save. We saw some nice kicks by him as well. And Bane banned out by OpTic, Ogre by Empire.
Yeah, replace that Sand King ban with an Earth Spirit. And honestly, I'm okay with them leaving the Undying out. I really don't feel like that hero is able to transition well enough from winning the lanes for you to winning team fights. So, I don't know. I feel like those are a couple of heroes that you can switch up in the bans if you feel like there are some other threats like the Earth Spirit, like the Ancient Apparition.
Yep, they do take out the Keeper of the Light. I mean, it's 0 for 1 this tournament, but I mean, we saw he was extremely farmed. He did split push nicely. It didn't work out for him, but just don't want to deal with it. Nightstalker's been banned. I think he's the one hero who's definitely been banned all 4 games so far. And I know a lot of teams have actually been talking about they don't feel Nightstalker's as strong as he used to be, stronger than a lot of the other 4s, but OpTic just doesn't want to play versus that.
Yeah, I think it's still like a hard hero to be able to judge his strengths and weaknesses, right? It's like sometimes Nightstalker games look really good, and other times he just looks really lackluster. In the final game of best of 5 like this, you don't want to take the risk that you leave out the Nightstalker and it actually turns into a monster, gets a really good first night, and just rolls over the game.
Yep, and there goes the Shadow Shaman.
They take out the AA instead of the S. Okay, so you mentioned the AA.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just on point, like an icicle. What happened to Nyx? Didn't that hero used to be first pick, first banned? It has not been banned or picked in any of these 4 games.
He doesn't match up well versus a lot of the other 4 heroes if he is placed as 4. And if you put him off lane, I don't think it's a good off lane hero.
This isn't okay. Is it just these 2 teams? But it feels like other teams are still picking it. Just different. Well, there's the Undying. I feel like Undying has the lowest win rate of any first pick hero.
So Brew is still here for OpTic.
Yeah.
They can take the Brew.
Brood Witch Doctor, something like that.
And the Ogre's already banned, but I don't like the Undying for Team Empire. I mean, it has been successful for them, but you clearly see how OpTic Gaming were able to punish the Undying. It's just that in the late game, it's so lackluster. Of course, there's a lot of heroes as well. You can deal with the Tombstone in team fights. And I think OpTic Game, they also prioritize getting the heroes that are quite sustainable in the lane. So the Undying, although it is a good laner, OpTic Gaming always has the answers. For example, they take the Brew. Pretty independent type of hero. They will get the Wyvern out.
It was ignored last time. Now they finally get it. Sox is one of his... That is actually, in my opinion, his best hero.
And I actually think it's going to be really tough for Empire to be able to meet that team fight power, even though they have an Undying in their hands. Like, those are 2 of the bigger game-changing ultimates in the patch right now.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yep.
Now it's much harder to actually focus down that Brewmaster with the Wyvern. If you do get the catch on him, he can Cold Embrace or go for this. I think Empire might take the Bat Rider here.
And you talk about it's hard to team fight into OpTic, but doesn't Soxa kind of play a greedier Winter Wyvern where he doesn't really come to as many team fights and just split pushes harder? Or?
Yeah, plays a Splinter Blast game. I think that's actually why he makes a really good partner to the Brewmaster, because Brew is going to be doing that a little bit less and opting to try and position himself for those opportunities to start fights.
Empire waiting for their next pick. What's a good 5 for an Undying? Do you want an aggressive hero?
I take the Bat Rider
before it gets banned out.
It's too good. In the situation how they won the last game, or the first game, was pretty much because he lassoed the Brewmaster over and over again after they got mega creeped. And it's also just one of those heroes that we do see versus Wyvern a lot of the time, since the damage through the Cold Embrace is there.
And it's another vision/initiating hero, which is always valuable versus the Brewmaster. So I think it's quite strong versus both the heroes.
Agreed.
And there's always the possibility that we run some sort of aggro lane from Empire, even though we've talked about they don't really do that too much. They could get themselves a Bat Rider versus Brewmaster matchup.
Yep. Now Next set of bans is going to come out here. What do you want to see OpTic Gaming? What goes good with this heavy aggression of Batrider Undying? Do you ban out 5 heroes or do you ban out carries?
On which side?
On what does OpTic want to ban out?
I think OpTic should probably ban the Storm.
Storm? Okay. And on the other time, they're going to ban out that
The
Luna.
Luna as well, yeah. It was used in the first game, right? With the Batrider as well as the Undying.
It's good versus Brewmaster in a lot of situations because you actually do so much damage in the laning phase.
And one of
with
those
that
weird,
Lunar Blessing.
Yeah, one of those weird things you talked about as well when he got his Satanic in the late game. He just popped Satanic and could kill the brew spawns, and I mean,
The Brew, yeah.
you just get full HP no matter what. Easy to kill him. Now PL, we've not seen PL at all. That's actually might be only the second time he got banned in this series. Hasn't been picked once yet.
Both times when they had the Undying, they banned the PL though, right?
Got to. So
Great
now are you
against
thinking of
attempts.
something like Gyro or Medusa already for OpTic?
The Medusa is good for OpTic because there's sometimes the usage of the Winter's Curse, then the usage of the Stone Gaze. The Winter's Curse sets up for good Stone Gaze just because you can lock them in place, right? And then, of course, deal the damage afterwards. I think it was Evil Genesis who actually did this, Winter Wyvern plus the Medusa. I think it makes a lot of sense. So either Team Empire will let it through and get a counter for it, or they ban it out right now because I think the Medusa will be great for OpTic.
I personally would prefer the Gyrocopter because I don't really like Batrider. I don't really like Dusa against Batrider. It's just like really annoying, right? Because you have that constant damage that's happening. You don't really have an easy way to get away from it. The turn rate is really obnoxious, while Gyrocopter is a faster paced carry and picks up early BKB.
Do you think they could maybe? You mentioned the Nyx, right? There's a Batrider this time.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that a PPD hero? I don't know if we'll see it, but that's one of the older counters toward the Bat. But I think we might see Peter play something differently.
Yeah, it feels like there's not really many. I mean, if Winter Wyvern is playing, I mean, probably technically the 5 hero, but it's going to be played greedily by Sox. So what else would you get besides the Nyx for Peter?
Oracle, probably.
Oracle.
Kind of deal with the Batrider.
We haven't seen. I think
We don't
we've
see
seen Oracle
too many
once or
of the
twice.
saving
Yeah, you don't see
and,
too much.
And double defensive supports
Oh,
is
Can
usually
be.
not really
That's
the
actually true.
When you have a
usually my
Brewmaster who wants to play aggressively.
I mean, more than anything, I wish they would change it to a 5 position Wyvern and they would pick up a 4 position.
And Nyx, yeah.
Yeah,
And they
or
could.
Spirit or Nyx.
Yep. I mean, I think
That's true.
I mean, that's technically it is still open. Peter and
Yes.
Soxa both play that hero
It's true.
at a very high level, so it's not definitely just that greedy 4 hero, and maybe we'll see right now.
Sand
Okay.
instead. Okay.
I was thinking
So that will be
the team fight power of Earth Spirit, or not Earth Spirit, ET, actually.
Okay.
Or the Sand King.
And there it is. Sand King does come out, so it looks like it will be the PPD Winter Wyvern.
So I think OpTic, especially in that last game, they were like, we can't. They didn't want to like the head-on fights were coming out in Empire's favor just because they had that overglaring team fight. This time, look at OpTic's lineup. That is just team fight, team fight, team fight.
It is an Empire
much.
probably going to bring out another team fight hero themselves. I think they're fine, right? Because they love doing team fight. If they can get OpTic to play their game, I mean that's exactly what you want, right? Now they have them.
If they don't get a strong disabler for their 5 position on Empire, I think might be a pretty good Weaver team. Okay, well.
Okay.
Hey, you really like playing Rubik versus Weaver, so maybe
That's a nice Rubik game right there. You got some Brew Split, Sand King Stun,
Yeah.
Wyvern spells. Pretty nice.
Splinter, right? We saw, I believe it was Yaps, where you just get the Splinter Blast plus, you're just the easiest split pushing you'll ever do with Splinter Blast plus the...
And it's also the Aura versus the
Nullfield.
Sand King can be quite nice.
Nullfield is actually pretty good
Yeah.
against OpTic Gaming, especially in the late game.
It has been a while, though, since I've seen Empire play Rubik. I wouldn't say it's like the hardest hero to play, but at such a high level, it feels like if you're not really practicing that hero, it could be tough to play.
And Vanscore has been playing the Undying, at least he did in the earlier one, but this used to be one of the Vanscore signature heroes, that Rubik.
So we'll see how they swap it up, and there we go, Lifesteal, man. We are just getting new hero after new hero.
Versus that Bat Rider.
Yeah, that's great.
They're going to have that matchup.
It's a better choice than the Weaver. I think you absolutely needed, because Wyvern and Sand King get a lot done in the laning phase, rotating around. They can even pressure Zai's Brewmaster lane. We talked about how if they can enable him, that'd be fantastic. So you get a carry that is going to be self-sufficient against the Bat Rider. Lifestealer is probably one of the better ones in this pool, considering the Rubik and Undying as well.
They've got infest carriers too with the Sanking and the Brewmaster. He hops in when they get blink daggers.
Is there any chance that was like a denied pick as well? Lifestealer, Bat Rider, nice aggressive, or no? You don't think Empire would have picked it up at all?
I think Silent's been kind of steering away from that hero.
Okay.
I don't like it against the Winter Wyvern as well.
True. Now Empire, 30 saves.
Well, why don't you run Weaver yourself now for Empire against the Lifestealer, and then get like harder carry for FN mid?
Probably.
We'll see. Oh, there.
We
Razor.
We're talking about it.
Razor too. That's a tough.
And I mean, it's you
tough
just
situation.
pick a Lifestealer. That's one of the few heroes that you just love against a Lifestealer, right? You just
Yeah.
put it onto him, can't rage out of it.
Great in lane versus Brewmaster too. If it is in that top lane, we don't know exactly where the
I
Razor
mean,
is
it's
yet.
good versus Brew and Lifestealer, right? So
Yep.
it's not like he's going to have a bad lane wherever he goes unless he plays aggressively, which a lot of Razors can do against stuns, and you get punished. But
If you're Empire, you got to take away Storm Sphere, right?
Stormsphere for OpTic, yeah, I mean, that's CCNC's, I'd say, one of his best heroes as well. So, and with the Lifestealer, heavy team fight, if he picks off a Rubik in a fight, could be bad for him.
Yeah, and you don't want a single core Lifestealer.
No.
Especially against the Razor.
We've
now
seen
that
it.
it's
I'd
got a
be-
poor matchup.
Yeah, I would be surprised if Empire doesn't take that one out, because then it gives you another infest bomb, and that lets you actually burst the Razor before that static link becomes an issue for the Lifestealer. You just jump right on top of him with the Storm Lifestealer.
Yeah.
How tough is it, Fog, to play a 5-game series that goes... It's not even just that it's a 5-game series, it's a very long 5-game series, right, with that first game being so long. Is it actually, like, mentally tiring? Like, you just get tired, kind of?
I mean, definitely, especially when you get mega creeps in the first game and you end up not winning that one, right?
Yeah.
Would you consider Team Empire getting the Storm Spirit from themselves?
They do have the pick right out of the ban.
Yeah.
Is there any chance they do, or is that... Does
Once
do
he
not have
gets
enough
Lincolns,
damage?
he doesn't have too much to worry about.
Yeah.
But then where's your damage come from? Just the Razor?
They don't have
be
team
rough.
fight if they do
Yeah.
pick the Storm is the one thing, but Storm could work pretty nice because it's just the Sanking stun early on.
We will see. They've already used all their reserve time. 10 seconds left to ban out this last hero and get their last pick as well.
Empire's
They
Yeah,
do.
they take it out.
Storm. Genius. No.
What do you pick for Team Empire?
So you want a team fight hero, team fight kind of middle hero from Empire here.
Just wondering what it could be. Got to think of those FN heroes. They busted out the Shadow Fiend earlier in this tournament. I don't know if it's not great versus Lifesteal though. You have too many gap closers. Actually, no, I don't like it.
Is Medusa for them bad versus these heroes?
No, certainly not.
Certainly not.
Lifestealer has a hard time cutting through him. Dragon Knight's also higher armor hero.
Here we go. We're about to find out.
Yeah,
It will be
good
the
call,
Medusa.
Grant.
Good call, Grant.
Oh, well, thank you. Now,
So you get the OD against the Dusa. You get the...
how bad's Viper here for them? Is that too much non-team fight?
I think you have to either get something that clearly counters the Dusa or like ends the game for you
Way earlier.
fast. Yeah.
What if you get a... I wouldn't say like, and that'd be nuts, but...
Whoa,
Oh my.
All right, that is straight up tempo, end the game fast.
They're going to try to kill this Dusa mid over and over again with
yeah.
Sanking and Lina.
OpTic's actually just going to be like, we're just going to slaughter Empire over and over and over again until they're forced to concede.
That's super bold though, right? Like if you fail in the laning phase, you'll just
Yeah.
eventually just get dominated by this. But guys,
Yeah.
I mean, here it is. Do you go with the bold picks of OpTic or for the more standard picks of Empire?
I have not
Yeah.
been a big fan of Lina. I will jump straight to Empire's ship. I don't see any way for OpTic to be able to farm with Ancients. They have a very straightforward plan of pretty much just kill, kill, kill. They have to win the laning phase. They can't fall behind. They can't let the Dusa get Ancient stacks. I think there are so many things
a lot
that
of
have
stuff.
to go right for OpTic that I have to give the benefit of the doubt to Empire here.
I agree. Team Empire will win this just because of how many checks that OpTic Gaming has to make.
OpTic has to snowball. They don't have good tower pushers. I think Medusa, Razor, just too good versus Lifestealer.
So you're going with Empire as well?
Going with
We're going to
Empire
have
as
all
well.
three people going Empire into game number 5. This is it, the finals. Who will end up taking it? Well, I'm not quite sure, but maybe one of our casters, Lumi and Lyrical, can tell us.
Thank you so much, Grant. And NA panel, jumping ship. They're heading over to the Euros. It's going to be Empire, apparently, according to them, who they feel like it is. Lumi, how you feeling about this draft?
I think this draft is incredibly difficult for OpTic to play, and more importantly, it's very different from how they used to play. I keep calling them as one of the best late game lineup. They generally kind of stall it to 35, 40, 45. That's where they're most comfortable with. Last game, we saw them trying to go for a timing push with the Bear and Kato. It didn't work out. And it feels like this game, they're doing the exact same thing, the timing thing, where they need to be driving up the tempo. And I feel like that's playing into the wheelhouse of Team Empire. I mean, Empire loves playing aggressive, divide, run at Udota.
No, absolutely. I mean, it is in some ways a CCNC classic. You know, Lena was one of his heroes back in the day. But I'm kind of wondering how the rest of the pieces of this draft fit together. We're going to have to wait and see as we get ready to head into this. Game number 5 and an early smoke out OpTic, hoping to find somebody as they head up towards the high ground.
CCNC skilled Dragon Slave, so they won't have that secondary chain stun.
They find Silent trying to run at him. They can't do it.
Long max range Burrow Strike. He's catching up.
Trying to go there, time, but it's not enough. Silent.
Oh my god, that Windlace. Windlace saving life.
Well, a very exciting start to this game number 5. OpTic a little bit off the mark, and that does mean, of course, that CCNC going to be able to get this rune and then hopefully get back towards mid lane to block it out for himself. But anything that you really want to keep your eyes out for in this game? Miposhka?
I think he's trying to courier snipe, actually. But the courier is actually going up top. All right.
Well, it's going sort of an awkward angle because they ended up recalling it while CCNC was up there high.
Wait. But he doesn't have enemy vision, so he won't see the courier coming in.
He's waiting the long range. So when it brings out that salve, they're going to spot it out, I believe, as well, the Sand King comes in. They're able to find a Dragon Slave on the FN. It's a lot of damage, and like you said, that courier is going to die. While Vanscore able to get a nice little decay stack there onto 3. And even though they took a lot of damage onto FN, it's going to be CCNC without a salve, or only ones, excuse me.
Yep. I do wonder if CCNC took LSA instead of the Dragon Slave at level 1, would have perhaps gotten in another round of auto attack, but I don't think the kill would have happened regardless.
Yep. All right, 0-0 still, but it's going to be roughly 6 heroes mid, which has been the classic, as Vanscore is trying to help out his Medusa in the mid lane. That does leave a one-on-one matchup on both of the side lanes. How do you feel like those pan out here?
Well, I think Pycat's going to have a fine matchup. He won't die or anything. In fact, Ghostic might be in a little bit of trouble once Phase Boot comes out. So I'm going to favor the Life Slayer there. Whereas I think Zai is going to have a much tougher time versus the Razor.
Well, another wraparound coming. This is all scouted out right here by the Ward, which makes it tough for the Sand King to really find any type of angle of initiation. As FN trying to farm against CCNC, always a difficult proposition. Alina has that extra bit of harassment. Still not taking any LSA levels.
Okay.
Well, bottom there, trying to bully back Pycat a little bit on his Life Stealer. So what are the big things to watch then? I guess that Batrider maybe pushing out the wave and then pulling that large camp?
Either pulling it or straight up farming it.
Yeah.
Miposhka fighting BBD for the rune. If you notice, Miposhka actually double stacked the Radiant jungle camp. So he's looking to set up some farm for the Batrider.
Oh yeah. Nice. PPD there again, just taking a lot of right clicks from Miposhka as they're heading back mid lane. And CCNC has been able to get a lot of farm, 9 and 4, but Medusa still able to get a lot for herself as well, as the Sand King has rotated to the top lane, and they do have the Rubik here as well. They can maybe make something happen. Burrow Strike is there. PPD starting to deal the damage. The clap as well, but Silent just going to TP out, realizing they don't have any way to stop that. He's going to the tower.
Even though he ported out, he's kind of out of regen at this point, so still a pretty big victory for OpTic. They commit 3 heroes for that engagement, though.
CCNC still farming as the courier brings him another salve there. And it kind of feels like these supports are just sort of trading off between mid and top lane as they're mirroring each other's rotations. But it's OpTic that are coming out on top in terms of the CS at least.
Ghostic able to clear up that nice big stack. I'm going to be going for the standard triangle boots. Or is it drums? We'll see.
Yeah. Well, another Dragon Slave there. Very passive. I imagine that we're going to be seeing a lot more of the action wherever this Sand King and Maposhka getting ran at. They're going to be able to get the lift to stop that stun there onto the Sand King. That forces him back. And again, Silent doing some damage. Still, a lot of farming going the way of OpTic. So what do you feel like, who needs to come out on top of these laning stage to feel more happy? It's Ghostic. Going to be open wounds. Can go up to the high ground there if he wants to, but he's going to fully commit off to the bottom here, pick up another rune in a bottle.
OpTic, because of the nature of the draft, the onus is on them. They have to come out ahead to even have a shot in this game. Whereas I feel like Team Empire, even if they fall a little bit behind, because of the nature of the Medusa, they can just hold back, do kind of periodic ganks with the Bat Rider Lasso, and just go for the mid and late game. So OpTic's laning stage is very, very important.
And they're having a good time of it. But is it a good enough time? Like you said, Phase Boot's done for Lifestealer now. And he is going to try and keep putting the hurt on Ghostic a little bit as another static link up top. Silent able to push him back. It's a 2-hero rotation though, as Empire maybe thinking about getting a little aggressive. As Zai is pretty far forward as well as PPD. Can they do anything here? There's not a lot of mana on the Razor, but they're walking forward. They're able to get the lift if they want it now. Silent doing a little bit of damage there, but he's also going to TP out, unfortunately. Not able to get out quickly enough.
Yeah, the 2 points of Soul Rip actually surprising Zai. Normally you have at least 1 or 2 points of Tombstone by level 3, but that burst damage was exactly what Zai didn't expect. And good kill.
All right. Well, you talked about the stack over there in the hard camp. Maposhka actually moving in. He wants to take down CCNC. FN, they missed the Light Strike array, able to pull him back in yet again. And as you mentioned, the body blocks, they're making it happen. Decay, is it going to be enough? No! They're turning it around again, and in fact, they take down the Medusa.
Man, infused raindrops, lifesaver. And now they are going to walk to the bottom side and take that shrine.
Oh, that's one of those situations you hate to see, and well, CCNC loving to see it as he takes it down, and 3 points in the Dragon Slave has that disable as well. Ghostic going to not be able to secure this rune as it actually ended up spawning up top for a regen. Light Striker off the mark, Vanscore throws the Decay, and they're going to back out.
Lifestealer starting to pull really far ahead on the bottom side of the map, level 7 compared to the level 5 of the Bat Rider. But the Dire does have a huge stack by their Secret Shop. And I think this is going to be a big point of contention over here. PBD has already laid down a ward, and
oh, another lift here. CCNC again going to miss the stun, but they do have PPD moving in also. Ghostic even coming in for this one. The Burrow Strike is there under the Bat Rider. That is going to be a kill as CCNC right-clicks him to death. Maposhka slowed down. Zai is even rotated in for this as well. Everybody coming mid, and Maposhka gonna be slowed, gonna be killed.
Yeah, he picked up a regen rune, but the new regen rune actually gives you HP so much slower. It's a percentage based. So he picked up the regen and healed like maybe 50 HP.
Yeah.
And got brought down. CCNC, despite being ganked on multiple times, really the benefactor of these ganks. And now it looks like he's picking up a Soul Ring.
Another big stack there. We'll see if Medusa can farm this later on. It definitely feels like, you know, FN's gotten off to a good enough start that it might be able to happen. Currently leading the mid lane CS charts, in spite of that death. But that is going to be scouted out now. So Sand King placing down that ward. They'll keep their eyes on it. FN realizes that the Sand King is up here, though, so they might be able to get the D ward in just a few.
Here's the thing. Normally when you have a huge stack like that, you're always somewhat afraid of the enemy team stealing your stack if they have an equally strong core that could take it. But in this lineup, even if FN isn't comfortable doing the stack right now, there is nobody capable of stealing on the enemy side. So
right,
she could wait till she gets super farm before she does it.
Definitely. Not even going to stack up that hard camp there as well. So FN getting a lot of gold invested into him. And where do you go next for OpTic? Like, they're starting to win these lanes. Do you think they're winning them sort of hard enough as they have a slight lead?
I don't think so. They need to be killing this Dusa a little bit more. Kind of like the way that PyCat got shut down last game. FN's going to get hit, and now The burst damage is going to be there. He pops.
Oh my God!
Look at the
not
amount of
living
regen.
alive. There's the sticks, and they try and turn this around again. They've got the Bruce split that's going forward for it, but Vanscore keeping FN alive. They just dropped everything on him, and he shrugs it off.
Yeah, the full magic wand. I think he might have even had a mango or two, and he was okay. Because nobody died, there's no team fight recap that I can't even see if there was a mango or not.
I mean, that's got to be really disturbing. You drop Lina ulti, the Brew split, everything onto Medusa, and she's basically able to stay in lane and farm.
Yep. That is a big concern.
Well, PPD walks forward, gonna get that Arctic Barn onto Silent. But again, it's gonna feel like PyCat needs to get a lot done here. He is currently leading in levels, CS, and just about every measure that it's possible. But they need to deal with this FN Medusa.
He's going to go for the very standard armlet Deso. Here's a problem with this Lifestealer is that there's no vehicle for him to be brought in. I guess Sanking would be the one. It's not exactly the standard one that we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
So that's going to hurt his mid-game impact. And of course, speaking of the Sanking, he's very far away from his Blink Dagger, so we're not going to see that till much later in the game.
Well, armlet done. Deso queued up for the Lifestealer as FN. They continue to farm their mid, and there's just not really any chance for pressure while the stacks continue to be built on all of those Ancients.
Empire is essentially dedicating 3 heroes for the mid lane, right?
Yeah.
They're both flanking Medusa from either side and both constantly stacking the camp for him. So there's a lot of emphasis on this Medusa, and they'll be right placing that emphasis because it will be Medusa as the one carrying them at the end.
Mid lane, they're bringing in the Lifestealer as well as the Winter Wyvern. FN left
go.
completely alone. All the other heroes aren't there with them for the moment. They're starting to bring him down low. FN is going to die. Now, can they get out alive with the rest of their heroes? They're bringing down Silent as well. He does manage to get away just barely. It is going to live. The turnaround happens. CCNC drops a 1-for-1 trade.
All right, he's inside a siege unit. Kind of waiting for the cooldown to come out, and now we'll hit the tombstone.
Yeah. Vanscore got a nice little decay off there, but they killed the Medusa.
They also brought in like 5 heroes to do it, and they didn't even get the building, so that was just a 1-for-1 trade at the end of the day.
Yeah. All right. Empire still looking okay in spite of that death, and well, they've built up this large economy as Zai is gonna do a little pump fake action there with Miposhka. It doesn't really feel clean right now. Any move by OpTic, they're not getting what they want, I don't believe.
They will try to get an objective up top. And FN will take this time to start working on this Ancient stack, but it's going to take him forever.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the time to actually do it.
Zai decayed. Vanscore taunting. Feeling quite sure of himself. And it's just sort of like this awkward thing where they're squaring off against each other and not really able to make any assertive move. As FN continues to farm mid, they push them back again, and the tower is still being held.
I mean, the key things that the panel has brought out is that OpTic needs to play a fast-paced strategy where they get a bunch of kills. We're 12 minutes in, they have 4 kills. And they're also not really leading that much through the economy. They're not out-farming the Dire team. They don't have better scaling hero. The rate that this game is going, OpTic has a 0% chance of winning this game.
Well, Brewmaster, Blink Dagger, maybe that's going to be the avenue that they can take these fights. An initiation with the Lifestealer inside of him. PPD going to TP away, but they get the lift. That's going to be a kill here. As PPD maybe can go for a Winter's Curse or something, but
they're splitting up. Look at Miposhka's positioning. He understands that if he gets close, he'll get cursed, and maybe there's a chance of survival. Good recognition here by Miposhka.
Well, the tier 1 tower gets taken top as they get the Lifestealer bomb out. Silent going to steal the damage, and the Laguna Blade drop for that as well. They find a kill. OpTic able to get something, but can they get out? It looks like Zai should be able to escape, but that's the Blink reveal. Well, Lumi, Medusa has that damage talent now. What's the point where they can start to think about taking that stack?
Maybe after Medusa finishes his pike, or maybe even before the pike, just the next step of his item. You don't need too much.
Yeah.
Although with that said, I'm so used to seeing Dusa getting like a damage buff from, let's say, a Bloodlust from Ogre. And this game he doesn't have it, so maybe he does need the full pike before he tackles it. And again, there's no rush. Like there's nobody stealing your stacks.
They could drop a tombstone on top of it as well as a possibility, but CCNC low on mana. They're going to look for the turnaround. He's in a bad position right here. They do have the brew split that's going to try and create that little bit of separation as CCNC able to jump away. Vanscore maybe in a little bit of trouble. His Lifestealer's on top of him. They get the secondary stun. Not bad. Can they find any more? Side's going to come out of this. Should be able to blink away as long as he doesn't get damaged by anything when he comes out. But he is going to get caught and possibly going to get killed. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do. So 1-for-1 exchange there.
Again, OpTic is just trading kills, but not getting any objective behind those kills. They just don't have that really clear-cutting pushing hero. I think Lina is supposed to be it, but she doesn't get to that point. So she has maybe, I don't know, 10 more levels and 2 more items, which is very far away.
Gonna go for that Bloodstone next. As well. In the meantime, the Medusa was able to clear through that 1 stack, and now going for the secondary one. This is a lot of gold going into the coffers of FN. Slowly taking it, but taking it nonetheless.
All right, there you go. Now she rich.
So what's the unkillable state for FN? When does it really become a problem, this Medusa?
I think if OpTic wants to kill Medusa, they probably always can kill her, provided they could chain stun her and she doesn't get off the Stone Gaze. It just comes down to how much you pump into the Medusa and whether you have enough to take the rest of the team fight. And once she gets, let's say, Manta or Linken's.
Ooh, the pullback in. It's a lot of damage there onto the Brew. It is going to die. Burned down. It is a curse, but it's not enough to kill off Ghostic.
Yep.
And now maybe even looking for more. They found themselves Pycat. He's getting caught and does need to jump away. With the rage, he's able to escape. But it's going to be a tier 1 tower taken down. An Empire surging forward. They're making all the right moves.
All right, it is emergency time for OpTic. Saksa needs to finish his Blink Dagger within the next 2 minutes. And they just need to go. Like, basically win team fights after team fights, objectives after objectives.
Lina would love to be able to get into that Bloodstone to increase the farming rate, but
they see Miposhka coming in. Burrow Strike's going to be there. He could clap.
Yeah, he has clap. He has lift as well. And they will force him back yet again. Empire holding on to these objectives. And they've just got items that allow themselves to fight. CCNC here tries to get the hit on the Silent. Might have been a kill, but didn't end up happening. Yeah, you mentioned it. The blink for the Sand King coming soon. They find the stun. Decent start there, and they're able to take down Miposhka.
OpTic rotating up top for Silent. I mean, he's extremely tanky.
Yeah.
But they are going to get the tier 2. These are kind of baby steps, but OpTic is going towards the right direction.
You know, the panel talked a lot about scaling as Razor gets the deny there. As Ghostic also going to look for the chase. PPD, a little bit of trouble, going to be pushed back. They commit the brew split for this one, and I'm going to be able to get one boulder toss out there as well. Lift up onto the Razor, forcing them back. No other rotations are coming in while the bottom lane is being pushed as well. It looks like they might be able to run down this Panda, though. We'll see if he's going to be able to get the blink out of there as he comes back in. Zai, again, not going to be able to get away from this. They are going to be able to TP out, just barely.
Very good curse protecting his ally. But again, these are 2 big ultimates being used defensively, right? They kind of just used to run out.
Yeah.
So more timing being missed, and now it's going to be going out on Miposhka. He pops the rage, but he'll get brought down. Another tower for OpTic.
Well, Ghostic in some trouble here as well, needing to blink away. Does he manage to get out of there? Gonna drop down again. So OpTic pulling together these kills. This is what the panel said needed to happen, is finding kill after kill after kill.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of a turnaround going on.
It's still not enough. They still need to go for more. Saksa has an Invis and the Blink Dagger. Unfortunately, very low in terms of mana. I think he wants at least 290 for Burrow Epicenter. Doing a very good Bounty Hunter cosplay.
Needs to be careful. No wards down in the area really to scout him out, but he does have that clarity working, so can maybe make something happen if they set up, but he's just going to place down Observer.
That ward is
Get out.
a little awkward.
It doesn't have vision of the high ground, but
It's there to block Ancients,
Yeah.
more so than give vision.
Dire are scanning.
well, Empire smoke up over on their high ground. Medusa has been able to finish off a Hurricane Pipe while CCNC gets the Bloodstone done.
Yep. And the next piece for CCNC is going to be the Shadow Blade. And that's the reason why we don't see Lina that much. Oh, that thought?
They catch him. OpTic going to be able to find themselves a Brewmaster, kill him off, taking over the clap, and Empire going to search forward yet again.
Yeah, I was just mentioning that Lina as a hero did receive a couple of nerf, and the item that she goes for also got nerfed, the Bloodstone, the Shadow Blade.
Yeah.
So, as a combination, Lina hasn't just been that effective at all.
Oh, that's a smoke right underneath the ward. They did see the Infest before it came out, so Empire going to play this one very safe, standing by their shrine. If OpTic go for this fight, it could turn tragically.
FN does not have Stone Gaze. Did use it offensively previously in the fight. Well, that said, though, Saksa is kind of going the wrong direction. He's waiting for somebody to farm this wave, but
Unlikely that's going to happen anytime soon. Silent?
ooh, they ping out. They see him.
They have the Force Staff, trying to keep his buddy alive. That's just going to be a quick death. The death, so far too much damage. They drop the Tombstone onto the high ground. Zombies are going to start to get summoned. Zai actually hitting it from the low ground.
Okay.
And, well, that's going to be a little bit of easy gold going back OpTic's way. They're pulling these together. They're taking a little bit of a lead. Things not looking so terrible for them right now.
Yeah, so at this point, it's not only winning the fights and taking objective, but also taking map control. Start to lay some very aggressive wards and choke where the Medusa can farm. OpTic now going right into the Roshan. This is... Alright, they're showing some really signs of life now.
Yeah, if they can get this one and start to put themselves in a position to...
But here comes Empire.
Snowball. Ghostic moves forward, spots out CCNC. Zai gonna just drop the Brew Split. They do pull back in one, but able to get the open wounds, and that forces Ghostic to hide away to the side here. They do have the ulti coming in from the Medusa. A lot of damage on the PPD, as well as Vanscore. Is he gonna be able to survive through the initiation that comes out? Epicenter is there as well, but Poshka's still living though. He steals Sandstorm, and now the lift up onto the Medusa. Left all alone. They have the Laguna Blade. FN starting to drop. Is it enough? It looks like with the Force Staff away, he might be able to live. Somehow, some way, they make it work in Silent. Able to carry for his team. They don't take down Roshan. Everybody lives from OpTic.
Oh, Ghostic on the back line here, trying to actually cut some people off. It looks like he's going to get brought down as well. But Razor coming in, trying to rescue the ally. The Batrider's still alive. Finally, CCNC takes him down. OpTic doesn't have a shrine. Looks like, oh, they did just use it. They're going to come back and try to finish the Roshan. Everyone's relatively low, but they should have enough resources to finish it off.
Oh, Tombstone is there. We'll see if they can make any type of a change here, but it doesn't look like it. That's Pycat picking up the Aegis, and Vanscore now in trouble as well. There's going to be another catch, another kill, possibly, as Vanscore starts to fall. He gets the Tombstone inside the trees, but it's not nearly enough. They're going to be able to focus this one down. CCNC takes it, and there's going to be the Winter's Curse as well. Stealing damage from PPD, but they got to back out.
Yeah, PPD probably will die here to the next Plasma Field or a couple of right clicks. There you go.
Wow. The other big winner here, you take a look at it, not just the Aegis on the Pycat, but 17 Bloodstone charges on Lina.
Yeah, just got the Bloodstone charge and immediately gets a couple of kills. Now CCNC on the hunt, finds
solo
Mikoshka.
kill time, just taking him away.
And this is where the old Lina really starts to take off. Once you have the Shadow Blade and become a menace all over the map. And all of a sudden, if you're a Team Empire support, you're very pressured in terms of putting Sentry pretty much everywhere on the map.
Oh, Ghostic now in trouble too. They're getting picked off left, right, and center. OpTic Gaming, they found their time and they're hitting it well.
Yeah, I think the goal graph really show how the game has been played. That 18-minute in, that's when I believe Saksa close to finishes the Blink Dagger. They get 1 or 2 kill, and then now they're just roaring away. Also, one thing I want to point out by Saksa's Sanking play is that he's becoming very careful and never giving away the Burrow Strike. The Rubik is normally seen as a counter to Sanking because you steal Burrow Strike and use it right back, but he is sandstorming every time after he burrows.
Oh, CCNC, they don't have that hard lockdown yet. Maposhka wasn't there, so even though they saw the Dragon Slave, it's not enough to catch him out, even under that Sentry Ward. And OpTic, after taking a couple of big kills and the last couple of fights going their way, they're in a position to try and take down the rest of these objectives. Now, we do have a couple things that are going to be coming out soon for Empire. Scotty for Medusa, as well as level 18, so 3 points in that Stone Gaze and almost to that
Level
ridiculous
20.
level 20 talent, yeah.
So I think the last team fight where we saw OpTic kind of ignore the Dusa, where Dusa just stood in the middle of the fight and hit everybody, but she did no damage. I think the next fight, it won't be like that anymore. Because I feel like the next fight, that's where level 20 on Dusa will be there. The Eye of Scotty, you can't ignore Medusa when you have Eye of Scotty, because your whole team is going to be slowed as a result.
Right.
So they're going to have to find a different angle of attack against this Medusa lineup.
CCNC still hunting for kills. Gonna head towards the mid where the Deuce is at. Hard to find that one. So you got the backup of PyCat, but it's just gonna be pushing out these waves and trying to push the tempo. They know that this Medusa could become a problem if the game continues like this, and now finding themselves an opening onto the Bat Rider. The clap is there as well. Ghostic is gonna go for the TP away. Nice play.
All right.
That does mean no lasso though.
Tier 2 gonna get hounded down. And now FN might be in a little bit of trouble. He needs to turn on that Stone Gaze.
Yep. Trying to force them back. There's the Winter's Curse. Vanscore hoping to make a little bit of space for his team as well. Epicenter wanting to turn this one, but in range, they take him down. Another kill. Now the pullback as well. Maposhka able to turn it. Nice play as well.
Wow.
And that's going to be a kill onto Zai.
All right. I think with that Stolen Curse, that just defended at least a Tier 3 building. I think with the Undying Death for a bit, at least CCNC could poke at the Tier 3 for quite a bit of damage. That was a very critical steal by Maposhka.
Yeah. Well, Courier living for a moment, but, well, apparently not any longer. They give it there, but he manages to get the Scotty off. That was huge.
All right, it did his job. 19 Bloodstone charge on the Lina.
Yeah, they need to deal with CCNC. He is becoming a serious problem in this one.
I believe that is Lincoln Sphere already finished on him as well. Or actually, sure of the Ultimate Orb.
Yeah. And if it was hard to kill him off before with all that movement speed and everything else, it's going to become nigh impossible. Force Staff on the Bat Rider. Have you seen much of the new Lina with the level 20 talent? How different it is in terms of attack speed and everything else? It feels like it's a little bit less damage than it used to be.
It used to be a 25 talent, right? So it should make sense that it does less than before, but I haven't seen it in action yet. Definitely not one of the more commonly picked up cores these days.
9,000 net worth lead for OpTic. And that's continuing to be accentuated as it's just been these pickoff after pickoff. But Empire going to look to try and pull things together a little bit here maybe, as they smoke up, buy their secret shop, and going to head into the jungle. Oh, PyCat. As well as Zai in the area. And is this fight really the one that they want to take though? They're all together, jump forward, lift back onto one, able to control him. They've got the lasso as well, but he got the rage off. Not sure if they have enough damage here. Winter's Curse to try and turn it. It's a lot of damage now onto Silent, and they are going to run away after the fact. Bruce Split was used here as well, and well, maybe in an opening, they're able to go forward a bit forward. The Stolen Curse, nice play there as well. Able to steal another one away from there, but there's the Burrow Strike, the Epicenter down as well. It's only onto one. Can FN carry this enough? He's got that level 20 talent. They've already lost the Rubik. I don't know if this is going to be enough here. They need to be careful.
FN, he's very, very tanky. The LSA slowing down the Laguna Blade. The Chain Stun is going to be there. They're going to try to bring him down. FN, without the help of his team, the Force Staff, we're not going to help him. Empire loses their core.
Oh, no.
Wins a huge one. Great Winter's Curse by PBD to delay. And now Vanscore might get caught here. Soxa getting the little bit of extra mana. Burrow Strike will be there. And they'll take down one more.
Another big kill there as OpTic win a huge fight. It's Medusa on the sidelines for 60 seconds. And now maybe going to look for more as they're heading down mid lane. All of these heroes, no buyback. What can they do before they respawn?
The creep wave is very far away, so they get a little bit of reprise on the building.
21 Bloodstone charges. Pycat with that Deso. It's going to drop really quickly once that creep wave gets here. There aren't any other tier 2 towers up, so once this glyph wears off, could be in a scary spot.
Yeah, but that's it. I don't think they're going to get more beyond this. So OpTic wins a big team fight, but they won that team fight in their own jungle, and the waves weren't very pushed.
All right. Well, possibly thinking about the next Roshan, it's possible to respond in just a few seconds here as well. And, well, the Sand King going to keep on pushing these creep waves out and then just able to blink away. And that's something that the panel was talking about as well. Position 4s that are capable of getting a decent chunk of farm on them, making the difference.
Yeah, we are also seeing how big of an impact that Winter's Curse is having in this game. I mean, for both sides. Yeah. Hopefully PPD won't give away a couple more of those. But the way that the heroes are positioned for Team Empire is that Dusa is essentially always sitting in the front, and then the other heroes are kind of a ring around her towards the back. So if PPD could get off a curse, then all of a sudden, Medusa could just lose his entire mana pool to his allies. And that is step number 1 to killing that Dusa.
Definitely. All right, a quick pause here from PPD. Hopefully this one gets resolved shortly. But the big items that have come out, we talked about the Scotty and what we were hoping to see from that. It's not really looking like it's worked out yet.
I mean, you're talking about the Medusa.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a very awkward positioning of the team fight. I mean, she was outputting a lot of damage and tanking a lot. It was just that her teams weren't able to take advantage of the fact that she was tanking everything. I mean, Rubik took the full Epicenter. Medusa took the full Laguna Blade and all the right clicks, but nobody went in to actually deal damage.
Yeah. All right, well, tier 1 tower is going to go down there. And, well, the unfortunate part is that the rest of OpTic is still in a position where they could maybe even pressure if somebody pushes too far outside.
We haven't seen Lina in a while now, but this is definitely one of the most effective Lina games we've seen. 9-1 in the 4 with 21 Bloodstone charge.
Oh my god, she might just solo kill Silent here. He could be in some trouble. He's getting set up, wants to be in position to find this. And looking for the right click. Oh. The chase, the miss, but they got the Burrow Strike, and that should be the kill as Silent ran down. Monster kill streak for CCNC. Lumi. This is feeling like it's fallen out of control for Empire completely. It's 12,000 net worth lead, 21-9. And Roshana's back up.
I think Empire is still capable of winning this game. They probably can't go out and look for offensive plays like they just did maybe 5 minutes ago. But where they're really, really strong is still the high ground defense. With Medusa sitting on the front line and, of course, Batrider kind of pulling people in, it is one of the toughest high ground to break. However, if you sit inside your base, then that means you're kind of conceding map control to OpTic, and they could do things like taking Roshan.
Yep, DD on CCNC means that that one's going to drop rather rapidly. Wards in the base, or rather the Radiant Jungle not really doing that much, and now Aegis goes to Pycat, Cheese on the Brewmaster. Maybe time to party. So do you think that OpTic need to get stuff done with this second Aegis at this point? Is this a situation where if they don't start to take a barracks, things get a little bit scary later on? Or do you think that they're going to be fine regardless for the next couple minutes?
I think if you're looking to siege high ground, you need to wait till CCNC to get her 25.
Okay.
Once you have the 25, then you get the extra 175 attack range, then you can siege the high ground in a very safe manner. Before that, though, I think they have to really go for a kill first.
All right, movement in. They have the Sand King available. The Lifestealer inside of him. Ghostic picks up a Haste Rune. Is going to be spotted here. The Burrow Strike after the Yules could come out. Ghostic in trouble. Just drops in a second. They do a buyback, though.
CCNC immediately goes to Shadow Blade and hunts for a secondary kill. Without the Batrider, they could, I think, make a high ground attempt. Batrider is probably the second most important part of the Empire defense, which is the catch. And now the catch is gone.
They have the Shiva's Guard as well. They do have that buyback, so OpTic need to be prepared for this if it does happen.
Look at the building, it just melts.
It's gone so quickly,
yeah.
And it's really hard to stand up against this.
Yeah, without the threat of the Batrider lasso, they just could play very aggressively.
Yep, again, they don't want to use this buyback yet for the Batrider if they don't have to. Poshka raged forward, but it looks like they're not going to try and push their luck.
All right, they'll get the shrines.
Oh,
Courier?
Courier?
I mean, if it buys something.
Dire's bottom shrine.
Well, it just keeps on going. See you later, guys. Come back in a little while.
Wrong base.
All right. Saving Private Courier.
I don't know how to read Russian, but the courier's name something Empire.
Nice. Now, all of OpTic going to head up to the north. They're kind of hunting the Medusa, who's actually out completely alone. And we'll be able to get that TP away, but that could have been scary. And Curry's going to head back again. Now, Medusa did finish off the Eagle Song while this was happening. And it's going to be built towards that butterfly.
All right, Medusa has given up buyback to make this play.
Well, FN certainly has a lot of damage now. Hurricane Pike has that Scotty as well as the butterfly. And no MKB yet done for CCNC.
And working towards it.
No.
A little less under halfway.
It's still a 17,000 net worth lead. I feel like at this point, OpTic really can push this if they want to. A little bit scary though. Pycat gonna get his damage drained. Silent forced to back out yet again. FN dealing a little bit of damage there to him. Maposhka able to get the steal on the Dragon Slave. I'll keep these creep waves pushed back, and Life's just gonna take over that siege creep and run away. I mean, how scary is this? It's a 17,000 net worth lead, but it doesn't feel like they're willing to just walk up high ground.
They understand that if Batrider gets off a successful lasso, and if PPD can't counter-initiate with Winter's Curse, then they're definitely losing at least 2 heroes. It's a very, I mean, 7k lead sounds like a lot, but if they botch this high ground temp, and they give away, let's say, 3-4 kills, they probably lose a tier 2 or so. And then, of course, they also lose a ton of the map momentum that they have on all the lanes. You mess up one push, it's at least 5 to 6k, at least. And of course, the 2 heroes that you're sieging with, it's the Lifestealer and the Lina, who has the highest net worth by far. So when they die, they lose a ton of gold. Miposhka will lift up CCNC.
This could be a big one if they're able to catch him. Not able to get it though. Ghost Stick pops BKB, runs away. Winter's Curse catches him there as well. Lift up though on to do so. A little bit of an awkward exchange there. They might have been able to kill him if they would have just let him keep on hitting. Tombstone is still down. It's still living through all of this. They do now take it down. Empire backing out. Epicenter there onto 2. Silent still living through this, but Vanscore, he's able to get the heal off as well. Burrow Strike now stolen. Medusa is living, starting to drop low, but they're not able to stay onto her. FN very, very low here, is maybe going to die, but no, they're able to get the lasso. FN survives. Silent trying to seal the damage away. Pycat's doing a lot of damage, but is it going to be enough? Maposhka with the stun. Pycat is going to drop. That's only the Aegis though.
CCNC now focusing on the building. They will get the racks regardless. No, the Glyph coming in the very last second. OpTic, are they going to stay for the melee rack? CCNC wants to do so. Miposhka burrows and misses. Melee rack survives with 100 HP. Nobody needed to buy back. All things considered, Empire was a successful defense. And that team fight where Zai unfortunately cycloned the Medusa during the curse, I think that could have been much better for Team OpTic, but
I mean, it's one of those things that's so hard to know.
It was such a chaotic fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. The most critical thing was whoever force-staffed CCNC deserves a medal, because he was going to get lassoed by the Batrider.
Well, now OpTic, 18,000 net worth lead, but they failed that push. They burned through the Aegis. They still have the cheese. This is one of those moments where you can't panic.
Pycat just walking right onto Silent.
Another force-staff push away. And the creep wave constantly pressured, but maybe Empire emboldened by their defense, willing to look for a pickoff. But OpTic not giving them that opportunity, at least as of yet.
And now I think this is what changes the
Ghost Stick?
equation.
They're walking forward. Somebody should die here, right? PPD,
All right.
they pull him back in. There's the lasso. The rest of OpTic, they just have to watch and wait. The call comes to back out.
Yeah. That was definitely not a good spot to fight. Walking up multiple hills across tree lines against the Batrider. But CCNC finishes the MKB. Remember when you're saying, you know, they're hitting the Dusa and there's no damage?
Yeah.
That is now going to change.
Well, in spite of the fact that they have that item, it does feel like Empire are able to hold their... could be a bit of a turning point in this game. I mean, do you think that OpTic are all concerned, or do you think that they're still pretty happy with the way that this game is going?
I think they're okay. They do understand that Medusa is growing, but at the same time, so is the rest of Team OpTic. And in the last multiple fights, they are still having enough damage to kill Medusa, despite how tanky she is. CCNC on the hunt once again. There is a gem available on the Batrider, so it's got to be very careful.
Yep, and, well, double MKB picked up as the Lifestealer also got one done. But still Empire, like we said, a little bit emboldened by that last hold, are willing to come outside of their base now, feeling like they're confident in taking fights. But what does that team fight look like for them? Is it basically just as long as Dusa lives? Is there anything else that they really need to focus on? Taking out a particular hero?
For Team Empire, your goal number one is to take out CCNC. Link up the Lifestealer and take out CCNC.
All right.
This is a very good positioning for OpTic. OpTic's got the positional advantage. They need to drop some wards.
PPD, he's going to be able to see it. They drop the ward down onto one. The jump forward, they want to get him. The burrow strike's turning around. Is it going to be enough? They're trying to burst through that Dusa. Maposhka able to back out. They're still living through this, though. Zai gets off his ultimate, and also FN able to get his off as well. Nobody is dying as of yet, but the Winter's Curse to try and turn, it's only keeping Silent under control for the moment, but now they've got him. They take down that Lifestealer, dead for 80 seconds, maybe going to be able to find more. PPD barely gets taken down there as well. That's 2 dead for OpTic. A big win for Empire.
Yeah, unfortunately, CCNC was super out of position to actually take advantage of the fact that FM was being focused by multiple hero. In fact, he might be in a little bit of trouble here. We'll need to buy a TP Squirrel in the side shop.
Do they realize that this is going on? The ping comes out from the Rubik that he thinks he's over here.
Nah, he's okay. He's out.
He's getting out of there. Maposhka just a little bit too late there in the area.
It was a very good initiation by Team OpTic, but unfortunately the core wasn't there to dish out the damage. They're looking to set up a trap here. CCNC.
Oh, jumping forward. They want to kill him. Dusa living through it, at least for the moment, but down to half HP now. Do they have any way to keep him alive? No, FN's gone.
Vanscore will pour it out. He won't be the casualty here.
Dead for 80 and no buyback.
Yeah, CCNC's going to walk the other direction to force out that buyback. Needs to get the waves push, but looks like they have kills in mind.
This is a long time dead. They might just be able to make something happen here.
Oh, for sure. Again, it comes down to Batrider's defense. Batrider has Lasso and BKB available. Also, Ghostic needs to be not shy about using this BKB. Right. He's been blinking in and then using BKB, but sometimes, and in that last engagement, just got caught by a straight burrow strike.
All right, well, this one is Roche number 3, Refresher Shard. Possible to go for double Laguna Blade for CCNC if they want it. You can also run that one on Zai. Looks like he is going to be the one to pick it up for the moment. Aegis just chilling on the floor. Pycat makes his decision and picks them both up.
I think the most impactful ultimate is probably PBD's Winter's Curse. The fact that it's an AoE disable, it is relatively awkward in the sense that you can't really lay in the damage. But if you curse the Dusa next to whoever,
one curse kind of sets up for the other one.
Right. Well, if you land a good one, you chain it up as well. So, but right now the shard is on the Brewmaster instead.
He also is getting close to a sheep stick, so we'll have double Hex, which is the other thing that could make a big difference in this one.
Sure. Yeah, I feel like the double ult isn't that useful. The double Hex, however, is quite useful.
All right, delivered now. Zai holding on to that Refresher Shard as well. And our Empire are going to be prepared for this.
Ooh.
Nice steal of Burrow.
Again, those Burrow strikes are hard to come by. Saxa has been doing a very good job keeping it.
The other thing to focus on, FN, level 24. getting closer to that split shot uses modifiers talent. Has the MKB done, as well as the Scotty. Whole heck of a lot of damage. But it's still kind of this awkward situation for OpTic where even if they manage to take another lane of barracks, I mean, Medusa doesn't care that much about mega creeps. At least being able to hold it.
That's true. We might see a repeat of game 1.
It kind of feels like it, doesn't it? 14,000 net worth lead OpTic with Aegis, with Cheese, with Refresher Shard. Still not feeling confident bum rushing the high ground. They need to find a pickoff.
By the way, CCNC, level 25 already takes the attack range talent, hitting close to 850 attack range. Not out of the range of the Stone Gaze, so
yeah.
Still has to turn around. Stone Gaze, I believe, is 1,000 range.
Well, and buyback status is also becoming increasingly important for all of these heroes, where you only see one on the Lina, but she also has Boots of Travel.
She has BO. She has 25 plus.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So she dies once, she could BOT back.
All right. So another hold here of the high ground. Is Empire just gonna sit inside their base? They feel like they've got that great late game potential. They don't want to give anything away, but it's a DD for CCNC.
I don't know if CCNC has some sort of special cosmetic, but whenever he picks up a DD rune, he looks mega cool.
Yeah, they made that little change recently. Pretty cool stuff for him. Burst through that creep wave. Has 55 mana regen per second. Okay, that's a thing.
Unfortunately, can't use it all.
Wait, but he might be hunted a little bit. They know he's over here, but they can't catch up to him in time, it doesn't look like. All of Empire down bottom, while OpTic move up towards the high ground. And Dusa porting in solo. This is going to be a lot of slow ports coming in if they're not careful. Yeah, but...
Too risky. Like, if you commit on the Dusa and you get lassoed during the Stone Gaze, that is a combination, right? If you get lassoed and Stone Gaze, you're just dead. And your whole team, if they decide to rescue you, is also dead. So despite the huge lead, it used to be, what, 16K, 19K at one point?
Yeah.
OpTic is just very tenuous.
Well, Ghost Stick again in position, but doesn't want to make the jump. Dusa did hit that level 25. Again, things starting to coalesce into a dangerous position for OpTic.
Aegis is down in a minute, right?
Yeah.
So are they going to do anything with an Aegis?
I mean, like we said, this is maybe a repeat of game number 1, where they just weren't able to really take any type of advantage, or win off of the advantage, rather. Just feeling like they always need that X item. They need buybacks, whatever it is, but they're not having it right now. 46 minutes into this, 16,000 net worth, and Medusa is online with the BKB, even harder to kill off. I mean, Lumi, if they don't feel comfortable going right now, and Empire don't really feel that afraid to walk outside their base, what are they waiting for?
Uh-oh, we're going to see a fight right now.
Jump forward, there's going to be the Life Stealer hopping out, but already right off the start, they're able to catch him for the moment as well. The Stone Gaze could come as well if they wanted to make it happen. FN jumps into the middle of all of them. He popped his BKB as well, already able to burn through a ton of those Brewlings. Are they going to be able to kill off that Sand King? They steal away one. It's the Winter's Curse as well. They've got a nice way to kill him, keep him contained if they want to. Silent, taking a lot of damage over here from the side though. Still living through it. Pycat trying to chase him down, but they're able to kite away from him. Has to eat the cheese. So Cheese now down, the Brewmaster is dead. They want to take down FN. Do they have enough damage to kill him up? No! The 4-staff pushes him away. 6 stacks of sticky napalm, and CCNC gets the kill, but it comes at the cost of his life. Pycat now trying to run away. Silent can run him down. Ghost Stick is there as well. PPD's dead. It's gonna be a team like if Pycat can't get away. It's not happening.
He has his own one for 1 second. Couldn't take him down, and we do see the power of the Medusa pretty much tanking everything and allowing his teammate to output the damage. That was an Aegis and Cheese, and that wasn't enough.
Scary, scary stuff for all the OpTic fans out there as Empire win a definitive fight. It's down to a 9,000 net worth lead now, and Winter's Curse still being held by Miposhka.
And now CCNC ports in, but I think with the Observer Ward, Empire has spotted CCNC. If he dies once again, oh, they know him. They're looking for him. CCNC is going to get caught. He breaks his link, and Lasso's going to be available. They're going to catch CCNC. He was up to 25 Bloodstone charge. Now he's down to 10.
They do get the deny at least, but that one hurts real bad. And Empire storming forward. They're starting to build up momentum.
This ward is what saw that TP in. Oh my god, this game just turned from a 16k lead down to 8.
And a DD rune spawns down bottom. When Medusa comes back up, this could be one of those moments where, I mean, how are OpTic hoping to hold if they decide to try and go for a push?
PPD cannot give away Winter's Curse every fight. I think he just needs to reserve like Arctic Burn as his most quick to cast spell.
Yeah.
Just Curse and then immediately Arctic Burn, because it's just really turning the fight. You need to output every bit of damage you can into the Dusa, and the Curse at least lock down like 2 to 3 heroes.
Right. Well, crazy stuff has been happening this series, and it's continuing to take place here in the Game 5 finish. They're going to go down for the DD, FN picking that one up. Maybe thinking about going for some type of a play of their own now, after being held up in their base for so long. Well, Lumi. I mean, what do you think here at this point in the game? Is it completely turned around? Does OpTic really even control their fate anymore?
They definitely control less of it than before.
Yeah.
I'm also not sure whether giving the Refresher Shard to the Brewmaster is a wise choice, because basically the way that Zai plays, he has to be in the fight in the middle next to the Dusa, and with the Stone Gaze and the Split Shot, he likely just dies before the first ult even finishes.
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't know who you give it to. Again, maybe PPD.
Yeah, maybe Lina. It's tough to know.
Lina's out of slots, so I don't know you could give it to her.
Well, Roche still a while before it respawns. Looks like it's about a middle of the road respawn time. And Empire now looking for a fight if they can take one in a good position for themselves. God, FN just does so much damage right now. Even without the DD, it's a serious problem. This is what the panel had always said could become a problem for the OpTic draft, the scalability and how well they're able to take it into the late game, and starting to see the effects of that now. That's Roche close to respawn. Lumi, can OpTic come and contest this when it eventually does respawn?
It's harder for OpTic to contest. They don't have as good of vision heroes compared to Team Empire. Also, next to the Roshan fights where Undying could drop a pretty good tombstone. Like, let's say if the fight is developing outside the Roche pit, he drops a tombstone inside the Roshan pit, and that makes it, you know, all the bit more annoying.
Yeah. Well, they're moving into position here. PPD leading the charge. And Ghost Stick may
they see the Rubik.
Capable of spotting somebody. Do they take this fight? They break it. There's the jump forward. They find him. BKB popped as well. This is the Sand King in a lot of trouble and starting to drop down low. They end up stealing Arctic Burn, though, and the Winter's Curse ends up coming out as well. FN in the middle of all of it, just doing so much damage, though. They're not even going to be able to stop him. It's Brewmaster starting to fall over there inside. His ultimate, he might be able to get away with the Fire Panda. But now with Brew split down, Wyvern dead, this is feeling like it could potentially be over. They tried to kill off Ghost Stick, but have to run away immediately afterwards.
Pycat on the run. Epicenter being channeled on the high ground. This is going to be a big one, but is it doing enough damage?
No! Vanscore takes him down. Pycat's left alone. Can he kill off Silent? The answer is no. 3 are dead, and Empire, the path to Roche is clear.
Well, CCNC. Oh, God.
Maposhka, they find him. The turnaround, he's just going to end up dying. They don't have any way to keep him alive, but CCNC now going to get the free TP
That's
out.
actually a big win. Instead of doing Roche, they chased him around for like 30 seconds. So Roche is going to get delayed. I think they still need to buy back if they want to contest Roshan, but what happened to the Refresher Shard? Did it get consumed during the fight?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
All right, Roshan now getting taken. Another Refresher Shard there. You got double Lasso, you got double Stone Gaze. Lots of possibilities.
Oh, I think double Razor ult? Oh, Razor, for a second I saw him queuing up the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
But
looks like he's going for the AC instead.
ooh, double Tombstone is going to be juicy as hell.
All right, well, it's a Daedalus picked up for Lina now. But is that even going to be enough damage on its own? It looks like Silent is going to be the one to take that Refresher Shard.
Double Eye of the Storm. It's a ton of damage. Yeah. Also double Link. One Link to break the Link-ins. The other static Link to go through.
They passed it over to Batrider. That's probably better. Double lasso. All right, well, Empire now. 20 seconds on the sideline, the Lifestealer. OpTic trying to get into a position here to catch them out of position.
Lifestealer needs to buy right now, or they lose racks.
Well, one rack's definitely going down. FN making it happen in their position, so the rest of OpTic can't jump on top of them. The TP is coming on in as well. They lasso in one. That's so much damage. PPD caught out of position. He's down 75 seconds. They go for the Refresher Shard as well, so now they have another round if they want to try and jump in again. There's the buyback. Epicenter down as well. Is it going to be enough? They're catching out of position, but it's still just going to be the Aegis. It's not enough. Meanwhile, Silent trying to run away. He does have the cheese if he wants to use it in just a couple of seconds here.
Stone Gaze going to get used now, and the Pandas are trying to split away. The Curse, just the delay.
I don't know if this is even going to be enough here as well. Miposhka pulls back in CCNC. Can they bring him down? They force that forward aggressively. They take down the Rubik. I don't know if it's enough, though. FN still dealing so much damage while they're just hitting away at him constantly.
Oh my God, the split
CCNC trying to jump, but it's not happening. And that's going to be a Cold Embrace. Nice play. But it's still likely going to be the Sand King death.
CCNC going around the Dusa. Dusa's dropping fast. Dusa
gonna get brought down.
CCNC outputting so much damage. OpTic won't defend. Brewmaster will die to the fire. That's super unfortunate for him. But now OpTic showing some signs of life. They didn't even lose racks. They ping out the top creep wave. It's right in front of the building. Look at this. So many range creeps. Go range creeps hit that building.
They are falling, but, well, it's not going to end up doing it. You know, the thing, though, is it's still 2 buybacks here for the Razor and the Dusa, but a great hold from OpTic.
Oh, you forced it out. CCNC finds a double damage.
All right.
It's the DD of dreams.
Can they catch them out of position? We'll have to watch and wait and see.
We are down to a 1K net worth lead after all said and done this game. And can they poke up the high ground with the double damage? It doesn't take much for CCNC to just chomp down that tier 3, but they're just so afraid. They're afraid that as soon as Pycat walks the high ground, Lasso comes out, immediate double buyback, they lose the game.
This is such a scary position as well, though, for Empire. If you play this incorrectly,
Lasso,
you do end up losing this game. There's going to be a Winter's Curse to try and turn it around. They're keeping Ghostic under control for the moment, but CCNC hitting on the Tombstone is already dead. Pycat under control as well, pulled back in and maybe going to be brought back down. Do they have the damage? The Hurricane Pike, they're turning it back around. CCNC doing the damage. They try to kill him off, but still, he's under control. CCNC is living through all this.
Well, whole team is dead, though. That's the unfortunate part. They've only taken a tier 3. And I think they just have to go back. OpTic.
Deuce's back up in a second as well. It's too scary. Far too scary. All right, 56 minutes in. A 6,000 net worth lead now for OpTic. The seesaw continues.
He was outputting so much damage with the double damage, but... All right, let's actually check some talents because we are getting to some level 25s.
The game has gone crazy. Like you said, the attack range is there. Brew has the sheep stick, the primal split health for the Brewlings as well for Zai. That feast damage and lifesteal is kind of a nifty one as well.
But there's so much armor on Medusa, right? I hear that he wants to be killing, so I guess that's why bumping your feast is, you know, important. I think the Wyvern one is probably the most important one. If he gets to 25 and start AoE stunning people for 2 seconds with Splinter Blast, that's probably the way to go.
Or honestly, the Winter's Curse duration could be cool too.
It is if you land a very good one, but he hasn't been able to land a good one because, you know, Empire has been doing a very good job playing around it. Whereas I think the Splinter Blast is much more reliable in these team fights.
Well, the game's still on a knife's edge, and OpTic keeping a hold and keeping competitive in this one in spite of a Medusa that's just been able to farm out of control. It's 100 attack speed also picked up for the Razor. I don't know, for you, what is the big determining factor for who ends up taking this game? Is it sort of down to the next Roshan? Does the next Rosh even really matter that much? It feels like they're still able to win in spite of Like, OpTic won that last team fight, even though they were behind in terms of, like, Aegis and Cheese and everything else.
I think this game comes down purely to the Batrider initiation. If Empire finds good initiations, they have more than enough to win the team fight. Whereas I feel like OpTic, they need to pray for a bad one from the Empire side. They need to juke and jive and just hope for chaotic fights.
Yeah. Rapier queued up now as well. That final couple of items that can make all the difference as FN wants to make it happen.
I guess he's dropping the Hurricane Pike for the Rapier.
Yeah, or maybe the MKB, I don't know. It's tough to know. Also has the Moon Shard already done for the Dusa, but the Shrines are going to get taken out as well. And with this last little bit of farm, he has to save for buyback as well, I'm sure. Only a 4,000 net worth lead for OpTic right now, mattering less and less with every engagement. Both teams have lost tier 3 towers. It's only one ranged barracks that's actually been killed off.
Sand King takes a health regen talent. I do wonder if people ever take the 50% Sandstorm Slow and Blind. Yeah. The Blind might actually be like super interesting, but of course Dusa has MKB, so.
Okay. You take a look at this also, the Brew split cooldown reduction.
I mean, that's assuming he survives the first one. Oh,
PPD. God. Getting very aggressively forward. They get the lasso to turn it back around, though. Maybe a scary moment. They jump forward. They completely eviscerate that Batrider. But look at the Deuce's damage. Is it going to be enough to keep them under control and to kill them all off? They're slowing them down, but it might not be enough. They already bought back on the Batrider. He jumps forward, has that refresher already out. He's trying to take him down, but there's no opening at all. That's a buyback for nothing, basically, unless they can kill off Zai here. They want to try and take him down.
Blink away. Can he blink away? No, Zai's going to get caught on the back line. Did it still Brewmaster split? They did. Miposhka gets the Panda ultimate.
All right. Panda and Sand King down now. Empire, maybe another avenue to take this one since Zai does not have buyback right now.
Oh, wait. CCNC with the Life Slur inside looking for a hunt. He doesn't have the Shadow Blade anymore, but now Silent walks by. Did they have vision? Oh, God.
Oh, they see him. The turnaround. He gets the 4-step away. Silent trying to run. It's a ton of damage.
Oh and no, slowed. CCNC just LSA the creeps to farm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate for him.
I mean, if you chase right there and then you end up, you know, catching out of position, you just lose the game.
You could definitely tell that OpTic is really scared, or they're playing scared.
Yeah, with good reason. Well, the Rubik split. As he looks for an opening.
That's a big deal. Like, just being able to put CCNC up in the air for such a long time is a problem.
60 minutes in, Game 5, the grand finals here. And maybe it all comes down to no buyback on the Brewmasters. They push out this bottom lane.
By the way, that Lotus Orb usage on Wyvern by Saksa, that was some fight-saving stuff.
Yeah. Well, it actually looks like the Deuce is going to switch it up and thinking about going back for the Bloodthorn instead, as Batrider, having used that refresher orb, taking down the tier 2 tower. Sand King cancels his TP in, realizing that it could turn into a bad fight for them, and they're going to grow together instead. This tower should either be denied or taken down now. Only 2 heroes not having level 25, the Wyvern and the Zombie Man.
Rubik gets his as well.
Yeah.
Didn't go for the damage.
Yeah, it's actually, the telekinesis has been really key this game.
Yep. And he's been getting multiple off even before the talent.
7-second cooldown. It's kind of ridiculous.
So Undying takes the reincarnation talent, right? I'm asking.
I think that, yeah, with no Aghanims, it doesn't really feel like, I mean, in the same case, it's going to be really important for him to just stay alive and get those tombstones and heals out if possible.
Well, I mean, the more times he dies, the better, right? Because he drops more tombstones.
Yeah. All right, Razor 25, we talked about it before, that attack speed. He's all alone over here and actually might end up getting caught out. They could have gone for that one if they wanted. Maybe they thought more of the Empire heroes were in the area. Instead, Miposhka, mid lane.
Oh, CCNC gonna get caught.
CCNC going down here would be tragic. The Lotus Orb a little bit too late. They're going to be able to pull him back in. He's gone. He's going to be back up in 45 seconds. Sand King very close to dropping as well. He dies also. That's another hero controlled. Pycat going to go down also. Huge win.
Everybody has buyback, but it's painful usage. The Brewmaster, of course, the cooldown's not that big of a deal.
Well, now they're trying to take this one down. They buy back on him. They want to try and save CCNC's buyback if they can, but now it's in towards the Roche pit.
Oh, I thought that was the Brewmaster ult, but it was the Rubik ult.
Yeah.
Got me confused.
Well, Roshan falling here. Again, you keep on giving these advantages to a late game oriented team like Empire. Now also having that Bloodthorn done on FN. The scary part is there aren't a ton of buybacks on Empire actually, so if they lose a fight here, I mean, I guess they'll have the Aegis as well. So
I mean, OpTic doesn't know that.
Yeah.
And also the wave is so pushed that at least they have a little bit of buffer zone. All right, that is the 4th Roche? 5th Roche?
Something like that.
I've lost track.
It's been a lot of them.
How many refresher shards have we seen? Just 1 or 2?
I think there's been 2.
Yeah, both teams had 1 before, right? So.
Oh, a lift up here. Tombstone down. That was, of course, keeping the Earth Panda away from it also. Arctic Burn stolen.
Is I literally using his Storm thing just to cycle? I mean, he has like no cooldown, so.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't offer you any damage.
Right, here comes the siege.
Oh, the Hex immediately! They're able to catch him, go stick out of position with the Force Staff, keeping him alive for the moment. Do they have enough? The curse is there. It's onto the Razor. It's not looking like it's going to be quite enough damage as of yet.
Are you sure?
The Epicenter. Do they have the secondary stun? They're able to control the Panda for the moment, but it's a Stone Gaze onto several of them. They stole away the Winter's Curse, trying to turn it, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. Panda's gone for 90 seconds. Lina has to buy back immediately. They need to get her back into this fight. They're doing so much damage from FN here, hitting absolutely everybody. Pycat's gone. That's 2 minutes on the sidelines. That's going to be Lina caught again. OpTic falling apart as we see Empire take this win. Good game called, and Empire take it. Well, everybody came into this one with various thoughts about who it was that was going to be the coming out on top, but Empire able to clutch it in the end. Take it the full best of 5 series. They come back from Mega.